Have you ever felt a presence in your room while you were sleeping? A dark, looming figure watching you from the shadows? If so, you've likely encountered a sleep paralysis demon. They're the stuff of nightmares, quite literally. And I learned the hard way that you should never, under any circumstances, talk to them. Here is my terrifying experience. It started out as a typical night. I went about my usual bedtime routine, brushing my teeth, setting my alarm, scrolling mindlessly on my phone for a bit too long. When my eyelids finally began to feel heavy, I turned off the lights and drifted off to sleep. Little did I know the horror that awaited me in the realm between dreaming and waking. Some indeterminate time later, I jolted awake with my heart pounding out of my chest. My eyes snapped open, but I couldn't move a muscle. It felt like an invisible force was holding me completely paralyzed. A chill ran down my spine as I realized I wasn't alone in the room. In the murky shadows of the corner, I could make out a tall, menacing figure observing me intently. Despite the darkness, I could sense his piercing gaze drilling holes straight through me. Every instinct was screaming at me to run, but I was utterly immobilized and defenseless against this mysterious entity. A gravely demonic voice suddenly echoed through my mind. "Hello there. I've been waiting for you." I wanted more than anything to scream, to demand what this vile creature wanted from me. But my lips refused to part, my voice trapped within my constricted throat. The being let out a sinister chuckle that chilled me to my very core. "Not so talkative, are we? No matter, I'll be the one asking the questions." Its words wormed their way into my mind like icy tentacles, filling me with dread over what sort of twisted interrogation I was about to endure. I squeezed my eyes shut, trying to wake up from this hellish nightmare, but the demon's grip only tightened. Where is the fear coming from, I wonder? It mused darkly, beginning to circle my paralyzed body like a predator analyzing its prey. Is it the unknown? The inescapable? Or perhaps it's the realization that you are powerless against me. Cold sweat poured down my face and back as its grotesque form appeared inches from my face. Rancid, sulfur-laced breath washed over me, and I got a glimpse of its twisted features. Sunken eye sockets, jagged teeth, gray decaying flesh stretched taut over protruding bones. It let out a vibrating cackle that shook me to my core. "Oh yes, I can smell your terror. It's intoxicating. Let's explore that further, shall we?" White-hot knives seemed to bore into my mind as horrific visions exploded like bursts of lightning. Visions of immeasurable suffering, of innocents being tortured, of realms more nightmarish than I could ever fathom. I started to feel reality and fantasy blaring together into one hellish plane of existence. "Stop!" I finally managed to mouth silently, tears of desperation streaming down my cheeks. "Please, make it stop." The demon reappeared floating above me, drinking in my anguish like a refreshing elixir. "Why should I stop?" it growled, eyes narrowing menacingly. "You humans are such fragile, feeble creatures, so deliciously easy to break. Perhaps that's why I get such depraved pleasure from tormenting your kind." With a malevolent flick of its wrist, my worst fears began taking physical form all around me. Grotesque figures closed in from every direction. Tongues like serpents slithered from gaping maws. Milky eyes bored into my soul, twisted limbs bent at unnatural angles. I wanted to sob, to cry out for help, for someone, anyone to rescue me from this waking nightmare. But I knew no one could perceive the terrors unfolding in this dark purgatory. I was utterly alone, a sitting duck for this demon's malicious torment. When the light finally faded, I was back in my bedroom, safe in the real world. My alarm clock beeped incessantly, indicating it was morning. But it all felt so visceral, so real. Was it truly just a night terror? Or had I experienced an earth-shattering revelation about the dark forces lurking on the periphery of our world?